Okay, we got some great news for Black Myth Wukong. They just reported that they're going to be releasing a new DLC sooner than later. And this is crazy because Black Myth Wukong has been wildly successful. They sold 18 million copies in just 2 weeks across PC and PS5, and they made over $700 million in revenue in the first 2 weeks. So you can only imagine what they've made so far. This success has prompted them to reveal that they're going to be doing an Elden Ring style DLC release. And it's not going to take 2 years either. So let's get right into this. What's going on, y'all? It's 𝒉𝒆𝒍𝒑𝒔 from Identity, back with another video, but this time it's a discussion. If that's something you're interested in, then don't hesitate to like the video and subscribe if you're new here. I wanted to talk about something and go into a little bit of detail besides the new DLC information that they've already revealed. And I'll leave a link in the description for the article that tells you all about it. And plus there are tons more talking about this. But Game Science have solidified themselves as becoming a goated game developer. Even with the limited experience they have, Black Myth Wukong is far beyond what I expected it to be. They've actually delivered on everything that they've shown 4 years ago in that gameplay reveal. And from what I've noticed, not many people are disappointed about this game. So they said that they're working on an Elden Ring style expansion for the game ahead of the sequel. A Bloomberg report into Game Science investor Hero Games has revealed an updated sales figure for the smash hit Black Myth Wukong, which set Steam concurrence records upon its launch last month. Black Myth Wukong sold an eye-watering 18 million copies in just 2 weeks across PC and PlayStation 5, and Bloomberg reported making over $700 million in revenue so far. That's enough to put Black Myth Wukong up there with Grand Theft Auto 5 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's crazy, man. And this makes it one of the fastest selling games of all time. In a subsequent tweet, Daniel Ahmed, Director of Research and Insight at Nico Partners, said the $700 million figure is actually dated August 30th, and that Black Myth Wukong is now around the $800 million mark. That's an astonishing return for a game Bloomberg reported had a budget of $70 million over 6 years of development. That's crazy, man. That's why I said they were really cooking this game in the oven, making sure they paid close attention to detail with all the different enemy types, the different staff stances, and just the gameplay in general. If you look in detail at simply the way the Destined One moves, if you do 3 evade rolls in a row, they're not going to be the same evade rolls. They're going to alternate between which ones, just to make it more flashy and cool looking, which drives engagement. Also, when you're moving left or right, he'll do like a hop skip. Just small little details that I've noticed, which proves that they put a lot of love into this game. Furthermore, the different enemy types in Black Myth are insanely versatile. You will go to a new area and discover enemies that you've never seen in the game up until that point. And you're like, they don't have the same moves, they don't look the same. There's a lot of detail in this game on the surface. But when you play it, it's even on another level from a graphical perspective. And just the way that you can alternate your fighting styles mid-combat to have this satisfying gameplay experience. I can't say enough about this. I've played a lot so far, and I plan on playing more. I didn't really think I would be this invested, but they're getting me there. But continuing on, they say fans through will be the most interested in Game Science's plans for Black Myth Wukong. Now it's out in the wild. While the developer has yet to say, Bloomberg's report confirmed an expansion is in the works, with Game Science said to be following Elden Ring's lead. Elden Ring itself, one of the best-selling video games of all time, saw a significant expansion DLC called Shadow of the Erdtree in 2024, 2 years after the base game. I remember that. So many people were playing Elden Ring, they were like, yo, when is the DLC coming out? They could not wait. So when that finally released, people were on it like crazy. And I'm sure you've seen the reviews and how much praise Shadow of the Erdtree got. I had the pleasure of playing that game extensively, and I really loved it. But when Black Myth Wukong came out, I came over here, and I am not regretting that decision. And they said that it won't take another 6 years for the next chapter in what's planned to be a series based on Chinese mythology. Though that won't be a sequel, Daniel Wu, Hero Games boss, said Game Science is working on an expansion to Wukong, which will give it a chance to monetize the game a second time. 2022's Elden Ring, a title with similar playstyle and design, has shown how the release of an expansion this year's Shadow of the Erdtree can spur a fresh flurry of sales for the original. Now, let's talk about the Chinese mythology bit a little bit. First of all, I foresee this being similar to a God of War style of games, bringing these trilogies and these expansions, adding on to the story based on historical events. And God of War is based on certain mythologies that you can trace back to fictional historical figures, similar to Black Myth Wukong. If you read Journey to the West, there's tons of lore about so many bosses and encounters and just different areas you can explore. based on Chinese mythology. Now, this is what I wanted to highlight because there's something that I noticed about 𝐶un Wukong when looking at some of the concept art and the pictures as the game was nearing its release. There's a headdress that he wears called a 𝐿, or sometimes guan. You know, the two long antenna-like protrusions. These are known as Chijian, which literally means winged shoulders. Now, in ancient China, these headdresses were worn by military generals, royalty, or other high-ranking officials, and it symbolized power, status, and authority. So in the case of the Monkey King 𝐶un Wukong, the headdress emphasized for him an elite warrior status and often conveyed as a sense of fearlessness or supernatural ability. So the Chijian themselves were more ornamental but contributed to a commanding and dramatic appearance. And this basically made the wearer appear larger and more formidable in combat or ceremonies. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I don't know if you're a fan of the Dynasty Warriors series. There was a game called Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, and it kind of falls into the Souls-like type of games. They had difficult bosses, to say the least, and it was compared to 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐿 also. So it basically falls in this category of Souls-likes, and if you haven't played that game, you should check it out. I played it extensively, and I made content on it. This makes me think that if they're going to do it based on Chinese mythology, they definitely have to include some of the generals from the Dynasty Warriors era, specifically Lu Bu. And this is what I'm talking about. The Chijian was also worn by Lu Bu. And if you don't know who Lu Bu is, you should do your research. Lu Bu, the mightiest of men, they say. And that's an understatement. Every time I fought Lu Bu in any of the Dynasty Warriors games, I would actually have to cheese the encounters unless I was really strong and I had like the strongest weapons and my character was leveled up all the way. But normally, he would destroy me every time, and in Wo Long we were able to use his weapon, his armor, and basically embody the entire moveset of Lu Bu. Now they had other characters like Sun Jian and Sun Quan and Guan Yu, Zhang Fei. All of these characters from the Dynasty Warriors series are based in Chinese mythology. Now I don't know how this correlates with BlackMyth Wukong and Journey to the West, but from what I heard, there's going to be a different main character, a different MC, not 𝐶un Wukong, not the destined one. So the title will be something like BlackMyth Lu Bu, BlackMyth Sun Ji, something else, not BlackMyth Wukong. And it's just they want to go based on Chinese mythology and not specify 𝐶un Wukong as a Monkey King for being the one to lead the lore of this game's trilogy going forward. And I think that's really exciting because I would love to see like a different style or a different story based on this to see where this can go. But that's pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. I wanted to let you know about the big news that's been announced with the new DLC ahead of the sequel. But let me know what you think about this down below in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this conversation, then like the video. Also subscribe if you're new. Now let's keep this hype train going. And with that, I want to introduce you to a video that I just made to help you double your damage in BlackMyth Wukong. It's one of the biggest secrets in chapter 3, and the video is right here. So click that and I'll see you over there, fam. Be right out.